The Lisa Eldridge Rouge Experience lipsticks. I'm so excited. Almost no one's lips are the same color as their inner arm. So what can we do? Well, I'm going to try to do lipstick swatches over a variety of lip liners so people will have a better idea of what this shade will look like on their lips as opposed to my inner arm. This is Pillow Talk Fair. Pillow Talk Original. Pink Venus. Huda Beauty Rusty Pink. Now I have Lisa Eldridge in Cinnabar. And I'm going to do the Sephora one, Wild at Heart. Now let's have some fun. Okay, wow. There is a big difference between the normal arm swatches and if you swatch over lip liners. All right, if you just look at the top, we've got Lisa. Lisa looks quite a bit deeper and cooler if you are over pigmented or not very pigmented lips, lightly pigmented lips, or pretty heavily pigmented lips. If you have kind of a warm lip color or you have sort of a pink Venus type natural color, or that's what you're using as a lip liner, then Lisa's gonna look a bit warmer and a bit lighter. Romy is a really interesting one to me. Romy is quite gray, and the arm swatches do not look gray at all. But if your lip color is close to Pillow Talk Fair, cool toned and not very pigmented, it's gonna be quite gray. And if you have even more pigmented cool tone lips, it's also gonna be quite gray. It gets a little pink, but still, cool tone pink. If you have something like Pink Venus, warm pink, almost coral type lips, and it's even going to cool down and kind of tone down, gray out a little bit, if you will, the more pigmented warm shades or browner shades. Ebony is very interesting to me because if you put it over Pink Venus, it looks very similar to what Lisa's gonna look like. But if you put it over a warm reddish, like warm brick red type color like Cinnabar, has some brown in it, it's gonna pull straight up red and it's gonna start looking very different from Lisa. And across the board, it looks quite different to Romy. Kitten Mischief is warmer. It's warmer and less pigmented than Lisa, and it's very different than Romy. I think the most similar is if you have warm kind of coral lips kind of in the Pink Venus range, Kitten Mischief, that's the closest it's going to look to Romy, but really overall it is just a much warmer shade. Pillow Talk Fair. Oh my goodness, look at how different it is in an arm swatch or like a normal arm swatch than if you are swatching it over lip liners. Pillow Talk Fair, it seems to be more opaque than most of the others, and it just brings out that light, cool toned pink. I thought it was going to be closer to Romy, and absolutely not. Romy pulls quite gray, and Pillow Talk Fair is light pink. It is light pink. Absolutely gorgeous shade. Sitting Pretty from MAC. On the swatches, it looks quite close to Lisa. It's a very pigmented shade, but when you put it over lip liners, it's not as close to Lisa as you'd expect, and it's certainly not close to Romy. And it is fairly opaque, so there's not there's not as much of a difference across lip liners. If we get into Millennial, which looks just like Kitten Mischief, and Kitten Mischief pulls way warmer over lip liners. And L'Avenue, on the arm swatch, it seems quite a bit more brown, maybe very close to Romy, actually, fairly close to Romy on the arm swatches. But if you look at it over the lip liners, Romy is so much lighter and more gray, and L'Avenue turns into kind of this wine brown color. I think it's very helpful to look at lipstick swatches over lip liners, a bunch of different lip liners, instead of just the normal arm swatches. I think you can tell more about them. You can tell how versatile a color is. Is it going to look different depending on what lip liner you pair it with? How opaque is it really? How similar is it to other colors, when you're looking at some sort of pink leaning tone as opposed to a flesh tone. So yeah, this is fun and interesting for me. Let me know if you like these types of swatches.